you know, I really don't mean to do this all the time, all that mess. Please, if it's a constant, if they're consistently inconsistent, that's definitely a red flag. If you can, the only thing you can count on is their inconsistency, that's a problem. All right, moving on. Number 4 is that they are different behind the scenes. Have you found yourself seemingly like, it seems like you're in love when you're around people, but you tend to argue a lot behind closed doors? Shit, have you ever even felt that feeling that you get when you look at him and you're like, I don't even think I even like them. But because those sparks and those moments come up, you get that happiness of that nostalgia feeling when it first happened, you know, when you guys first got together. That's pretty much what keeps these type of relationships together. You know, they know how to sprinkle you, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, hit it real quick. That, you know what I'm saying? Just that right there. And you fall for it every time, because especially if you're a good person. If you're a good person, more than likely you are going to give it the benefit of the doubt more than what you should. Like, what are you doing? But I get it, because I don't know how many times I've looked in the mirror and like, what are you doing? But when you go through these things, that's why I'm here. Because when you go through these things, I want you to be able to see it and be able to identify it. Because I've done the work, so you don't have to. All right. Number 5. They avoid heavy conversation. In the beginning, did you guys have long conversations? They seemed very in-depth. They seemed very much just you, and it's just you two, and you guys are just getting to know each other so much, and it's just, it's the feeling is just amazing, and there's just no, it's just that wonderful feeling that you get in a new relationship. And now it's probably been maybe 11 months, a year or so, and it just feels like hell on Elm Street. It's just arguing, fussing, and fighting, that backsliding, you know what I mean? You know what I'm going, you're like, that's it. What is going on, man? Like, what is going on? You don't know what's going on. But it's constant conflict, constant arguing, constant bickering, and you don't even know where it came from. Well, that's a sign. Especially when they seem they tend to shut down in conversation. They really don't want to talk about things that matter. They really want to keep everything surface. If you've been with somebody that long and they want to have surface conversation, that's me taking a man, putting him in the bag, and throwing the whole thing away. So, that's something that needs to be done. Male, female, friend, it doesn't matter. If they're using you, if they're taking advantage of you, you need to get rid of them. Because they're not serving your highest good. They're depleting you. They're not replenishing you. It's not an even exchange. It's not a give and take. Everything has a fair exchange in life, no matter what. When you put gas in your car, you got to give the man money. When you, let's get real raw with it. When you have a baby, there's pain before the pleasure, the happiness. And let's just be real. When you know, there's an exchange. When you have intercourse to make the baby, you know what I'm saying? There's always a response. There's always a recourse, a reaction. So if somebody's not conversing with you and they're just shut down, then that's a red flag in itself. Like, everything has a give and take. Everything in life is a 50-50. So watch out for that. Let me see. I'm going to skip that one because I want that one to be the last one. Let's see here. Another way that you know, I believe this is number 6, that they are using you, is that they never compromise. They never compromise. I was in a relationship. It was so bad. It was so bad. So bad. In order to get my way, because, you know, I was one of those people that wouldn't get out of the relationship, I said, how am I going to get my way this time? Because I really, 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 really want this. And I said, okay, I'm going to be honest. I didn't want him. It was a very, very abusive relationship. It was very toxic. It was very bad. He had a lot of damage. And, you know, of course, I was one of them chicks. Oh, he just needs a little love, blah, blah, blah. Man, you better run away. Like, it's sad and tragic and everything. But the reality of the matter is, you don't want to go through that shit. Let them deal with their own slop. Trust and believe. If you're dealing with somebody like that, or you find that people tend to run the hell away from you and you just don't know why, because at the core of yourself you're really a good person, but you crazy and all this, and people just don't want to be around you, you're the problem, boo. I'm just saying. Not everybody can stomach you, and that's when you have to do the work for yourself, so that way you can get to where you need to be and get to where you need to go in life, just period. So yeah, so when they never compromise, if you feel like they become upset when you try to do anything your way, they lose it, that's a red flag. If everything that needs to be done is always the way they want to do it, that's a problem, because that means they don't value you, and they do not have any respect for your thoughts, your ideas. You're just there for their entertainment. You are their muse. And the way how I feel about that is if you're going to have me work in any way, shape, or form, you need to run me a check. And if that's not happening, you need to go. Plain and simple. And if it's any type of relationship, no matter what type of relationship it is, that should not be happening at all. So that's when you need to, skedaddle. Number 7, and I think the biggest, I just popped myself, the biggest sign, and I will say that this pertains mainly in relationships, because let's just be real, we have some lazy ass friends. Some of us just got lazy ass friends, you know what I mean? But it is so different when it's a friend and somebody you kind of playing with, dancing with, horizontal, whatever, cha-cha-cha, whatever you want to call it, sex, let's just be grown. You know, if you're having sex with somebody and it's supposed to be a two-way street and you feel like you're doing all the work, that's because they don't care enough to do anything with you, because they don't value you. They could care less. This also goes to people who are pregnant, who are married as well. If you're in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, if you are engaged, if you are married, if you are pregnant, about to have a child with this person, any of those things, just because, and those are really important big things. Just because you're in those boats, if you're feeling any of these red flags, you need to take a step back, because as humans, we love to see what we want to see. We love to want to live in the illusion that we have created for ourselves, because a lot of times, because of what society paints for us, we tend to want that. And that's what we see, and that's why we jump in the lily fields and we skip and we're so happy. And then we wonder what happened like a year later, and it's because it's like, dude, they were doing that the whole time. You just wanted to live in the clouds. You have to see things for what they are. And once you're able to see things for what they are and take things day by day, rather than living in the futuristic mindset of the life or world you've created for yourself, and you really just see that person as they are, you can save yourself a lot of heartache and pain. And usually you'll see these symptoms or signs within the first 3 to 6 weeks, sometimes sooner. I mean, if you see them a little bit later, you're dealing with a narcissist, a sociopath, something like that. But if they ain't about nothing, you can see it within the first couple of weeks. But if you already laid the stack and did whack already, within the first week or two, you're already stuck. So my advice, the best advice I can give, if you see any of these things after you've already laid down and slept with them, and you start to see these traits, my best advice is to fall back. If you're not ready to like leave them, fall back and reassess yourself and what you want. And you need to ask yourself, are you willing to put up with what they're giving you? If you already see that, oh yeah, I am doing a lot of the work, man, I am doing this, I am doing that, why do I feel like a booty call? I thought this was my man. Like, why am I, why am I going to see, why am I doing this, why am I doing it? And there's nothing reciprocated back to let you know that it is a two-way street, and you feel like you're doing a lot of the work, then you're not wrong. So in that moment, in that mindset, that's when you owe it to yourself to exit stage left. Sometimes in life, we don't know how to take our L's, our losses, and our ego is what keeps us from leaving a situation, keeps us in a bad situation, won't allow us to break away from a situation because we don't want to be a failure. But let's just be real. Failure is the key to success, because when you fail, it's not really failing. It's just finding where you faltered. When you fail at something, it's not a fail. It's more of a, okay, let me not do that again. When you don't do it again and you do something better, you do it differently, it leads you to a path closer to success of where you're supposed to be. So in love, life, relationships, and just life experiences in general, that is the best thing to utilize, and for me, using discernment, I started to use discernment, really seeing things for what they are. I ain't gonna lie, I put my foot in my mouth, I don't stink, but they need a little bit of work. So I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. However, I will say this. When you use discernment, you're able to see things a little bit more clearly. I've definitely gained a lot more friends, lost few, only because I realized that they were full of shit. And hey, whatever. I mean, I literally, lifelong friends that were using me, okay? I think 5. And these were lifelong friends. Like, I've known them since like 10 or 11 years old. But because I've done the growth and done the work for myself, I realized that they were not for me. Like, I always why am I coming out this bad boy depleted every time? Like, why am I coming out at a deficit? Why is this happening? And why don't nobody give a damn but me? And that's when I realized, girl, you're a giver. I'm a giver. I love to give and I love to help. But just because you like to do that, don't mean you got to do that for everybody, because not everybody deserves that from you. Hold on a lot for yourself. You'd be surprised on the glow up you get when you hold on to that stuff for yourself. And only give it to the people that love you, who ride for you, who got you. Not for people who you want to see good because they've got to have some good in them and you just want to see them good. No, let them do that for themselves. Because in turn, they probably just gonna use you anyway. So, if you guys want me to do a part 2, I think I've covered some things. If you have any questions, answer or put them in the comment box below. If there's any haters, I'm gonna just say hey in advance. I love y'all too, because everybody got their position to play in life and you're just doing your job, boo. Pew, 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 pew. And I don't know, that's about it. And until next time.